Welcome to Follow the Calling podcast, the show that advocates for Christ through blogs, personal testimony, faith-based merchandise, and apparel. I'm your host, Shakira. Let's dive into the episode. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. And if this is your first time tuning in, hello and welcome. Make sure that you like this video, subscribe to my channel, and share this video. You never know who this may be a blessing to. Today, I want to just spend a little bit of time talking about forgiveness. So we all know what forgiveness is. We all have been faced with having to forgive someone or not. But many of us do know, or we should know, that the guidelines on forgiveness is definitely comes from the Father. It's been referenced in the Bible many, many times, the stipulations surrounding it. And it's something that we should take seriously because it does involve, you know, our souls and, whether the Father forgives us. So first, you always want to reference what does the Bible say about forgiveness. So Matthew chapter 18, we'll start with verse 21. Then came Peter to him and said, Lord, how oft shall my brother sin against me, and I forgive him? Till 7 times? Jesus said unto him, I say not unto thee until 7 times, but until 77 times. So that's basically saying that, in Peter's eyes, he's like, okay, if somebody does me wrong and they sin against me, like, am I supposed to just keep forgiving them 7 times? And it seems like to him, he thought that that was like a big number to keep forgiving someone. But then Jesus went even further, like, no, try 70 times 7. So you just forgive and you forgive and you forgive and you forgive because that's how often our Father forgives us. There is no deadline or like no cutoff amount for forgiving someone. But one thing that we tend to get confused is, what forgiveness actually means. Like when you forgive someone, forgiveness should be about just starting over with them, like giving them some type of grace when they've done something against you. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to continue a relationship in the same capacity with them. For instance, let's say you are in a relationship with someone and they cheated on you. Your forgiveness would be, this would be even, no matter if they admitted to doing wrong and they apologize for it, the forgiveness would be even if they didn't apologize. You in your heart have forgiven them. You no longer associate like a hatred or these ill feelings towards them based on whatever it is that they had done to you, the cheating on you. So that forgiveness means the next time that you may have any type of encounter with them, if they may need you for something, if they want to just communicate with you in some kind of way, you are not associating your response to them or your viewing them based off of what they did. It's supposed to be, washed away and you're supposed to be moving forward. Now, what that does not mean is that you have to, accept them back as your boyfriend or girlfriend. That is not necessarily what forgiveness means. Now, if in your heart that is what you want to do, if your forgiveness stretches out to the point where you want to just give them a chance again to trust them with your heart and continue on and building a relationship with them and ultimately a marriage, then that is perfectly fine for you to do. But if you choose not to, that is not anything that, you will be held accountable for because a lot of times when people do things and they show you their character, they show you what they're capable of, especially if they're repeat offenders. That's the time when you have to start using wisdom to know, okay, this person is showing me time and time again that they're capable of doing this to me. So at that point, you have to be smart and you got to use wisdom and move accordingly. And moving accordingly does not mean that you have to return the favor. You have to do something back to them. You have to be mean and nasty or hateful towards them. That is definitely not a definition of forgiveness at all. Um, it would just mean, just be smart about how you interact with these people.
Hey guys, I know you're enjoying this video, but I just had to interrupt you really quickly to let you know about this free prayer guide that I created just for you. It's called the Healing and Strength Prayer Guide. Click the link below and it is all yours just within a few minutes. The prayer guide includes 6 principal prayers, a bonus principle that you can use to customize, and it is all for you for free. Again, click the link below and it's all yours in the next few minutes. And let's get back to the video.
Another verse when we talk about forgiveness. Okay, hold on. Another verse would be Ephesians chapter 4, verse 32. And that says, "And be ye kind one to another, tenderhearted, forgiving one another, even as God for Christ's sake hath forgiven you." So that's just simply stating that we all know that we have sinned at some point in our life, and God has forgiven us. He is not looking at us like, you know what? I really don't want to give them this person that grace or offer them any kind of protection or all the wonderful things God does for us. He's not using what we did even yesterday, against us, and that is the same way that He wants us to be with one another. We have to be kind-hearted and loving and forgiving to one another, which that may be hard because we're not God. We're human. We have emotions, we have feelings. So it is hard to, maybe express those type of kind emotions and behaviors to people who have wronged you, but it's definitely something that we have no choice but to master. And for all of us that do have issues with that, we can always pray and just ask God to help us with it. Because you don't want to carry hatred in your heart. You don't want to carry unforgiveness. You don't want to do anything that's going to jeopardize your fate and your standing with the Father. You absolutely don't want to do that. So if that means I have to speak to this person who has just cursed me out probably yesterday, then that's what I'm going to do. Does that mean, if that means that I need to, just continue to be in association, sometimes even with family, like you can't get rid of family. So when you have family members that you have to just continue to be involved with, forgiveness will definitely play a big part. Now, if it's somebody who they have a history of stealing from you, it is not going to be the smartest thing to leave your purse around them or, leave whatever kind of valuables you just setting yourself up for them to do it again. But if that person is in need of anything, they're hungry, you have food, you're having some kind of function and you want to invite people, whatever the case may be, forgiveness would come into play in how you continue to associate with them and just show them just love, the love of God. And let's see. Like I said, there is a ton of scriptures on forgiveness, but we'll go to another one. A lot of them are in John. I'm sorry, in Matthew. But let's see. Mark 11:25 says, "And when we stand praying, forgive. If ye have aught against any, that your Father also, which is in heaven, may forgive you your trespasses." And that's just saying, we got to stay in prayer, constantly stay in prayer and constantly stay in forgiveness. That if in you at the end of your day or the beginning of your day or just whatever times of the day you are deciding to pray to the Father, we got to make sure that our heart is cleansed and it's clean and it's free of just ill feelings and resentment against people. That is so important. because God is going to deal with those people, wherever they are, whatever they've done. God is going to deal with them. But it is so important that we deal with ourselves and our hearts. And to be honest, sometimes I have to do it over and over again because I may have a good day, like with a particular person or particular people where I'm just feeling good. And I'm like, you know what? I don't even care about, whatever it is that they did. I forgive them, even though they're not even sorry for what they did. And I just feel just like a clean, free heart and just a loving spirit. Sometimes they may do something again, and then you have to go back and you gotta check your heart and work on your forgiveness again because they are repeat offenders. But every time, just like Jesus said, 70 times seven, that's how often you gotta do it. And that's just what it is. Many people probably don't agree with it because we live in a world where it's a lot of, I'm giving the same energy that you give me and all that. That is not how God wants us to live. That's not what He wants us to do. We're not giving off the same energy that people are giving us, because if that's the case, this world will be even more evil and even more hateful than what it is right now. That is not the move. Don't follow up with that saying because it's not helping you at all if you want to be in the good graces of God. So, however often it takes you, all you have to do is just search in the Bible for scriptures to meditate on that talk about forgiveness. That's very helpful to help you um, to just be able to work on that, because it's not an easy thing, especially depending on what someone did to you. It may not be an easy thing to forgive, but it's very necessary. We have to do it. That's just the bottom line. And again, from my personal experience, I find myself having to do a refresher because I may have forgiven. And sometimes the person may do something new, and then I have to work on forgiveness again. Or sometimes I just wake up and I may be thinking about what they did, and it may just be a bad day, reflecting on what they did. And then, the enemy will let it affect me all over again as if it's something new, and it's probably not even a new thing. It's the same old thing. So I have to work again and ask, please cleanse my heart. Fill me with love for this person. Fill me with the love of Christ inside of me. Allow me to forgive just as you've forgiven me. I'm no different than anybody else, regardless of what they have done or what I have done. The same way that you forgive me, allow me to be able to forgive them. So that's my message on today that I want to share with everybody. Again, like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, share some of your experiences or some of your additional scriptures that may be your favorites that you reference as you work on your forgiveness journey, um, and just share it, because at the end of the day, this is something that we all need to be better at, because we're all meant to be kingdom-minded people. And as always, remember, God is calling each and every one of your lives. Have a good day.
Thank you so much for listening. If you heard something that brought you closer to Christ, be sure to share the episode with someone else. Visit followthecalling.com to become a part of the family and stay tuned for the next episode.